public IP address,
Mm-hmm.
and you connect to the laptop, right? I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
computer.
Yeah.
What's happening is, it is telling me that the credential will be used to connect the IP address,
Mm-hmm.
user ID and password. Which is an Outlook, my user ID and password. I don't have that password, so in that case,
See.
workaround.
Uh, it won't. So basically, it is taking your default credentials, but you need to sign in as a different user and sign in with the credentials what we get from AWS console. Like the user is administrator, and for the password we need to decrypt it. Go through the video once again how to decrypt because we will download the key and we try to decrypt right in the
I did the decryption already, and
uh, yeah.
the instance status is running right now.
Okay, then quickly if you want to share your screen, we can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me share my screen. Let me know. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. So here is the instance. Okay, Sayed test.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was,
Yeah. Copy the public one, not the private.
yeah, I did that. I copied the public one, this
Mm-hmm.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
I went here and I used this same thing.
Yeah. So now go to the more choices below.
More choices, use a
Yeah.
different
Use different user. Yeah. Try administrator.
administrator.
Yeah. Yeah. And decrypted password.
Password.
And yeah, one more thing is when you decrypt the password, make sure you save it safely. Okay. Okay. Just hit OK. And once, can you go back to your instance? Yeah. And now scroll up.
Back to screen.
No. In the same place, scroll up and go to the security in the below tray. On the below tray. Yeah. Go to security. Yeah. And scroll down and open the TCP group. Okay. Wait. So it's 3CP. Okay. And scroll up again. Go to the details.
Details. Okay.
Mhm. Scroll down and check the EMI whether you have selected Windows. It's a Windows server.
Yeah.
Should be an issue. You open it for browser. No, it's initializing still, right? Let us wait until you have few way to checks.
Let me refresh this. Okay. It's already
Okay.
there.
Yeah, now try to connect. Okay, but see, I'll give you a simple way than this. Cancel it. Cancel this. Yeah. Try. Yeah. Close this one also. Okay. Try connect.
Connect.
No. On the console. Yeah. And now, yeah. Now download the desktop file.
Download the desktop file. I did that. This is right here.
No. That's the key. This is different one.
Okay.
It's desktop file. Yeah. Now, if you click that, it will automatically take the username. Can you open it? Yeah. Open.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. Connect. Yeah, give the password. Mhm. Yep. Try yes. Okay. Yeah, you're good, right?
Yeah, so this is connected to my PC now. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mhm. Okay. Anyone else have any questions on IAM or EC2 instance?
Mm, yes.
Okay. Then let me quickly jump into the class.
Hello, Srikanth. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, just
Right.
before we start the class, I just want to clarify something with the people here, the
Mhm.
students. I just want to let them know that like I have created a WhatsApp group and I see some few names which is very new. So if they are interested, they can pass their number so I can add them like Amit Gupta, and I see Arpana and Shakila
Yeah.
and
Amit,
Raj.
Amit is Payal actually, so that should be fine.
Okay,
Yeah, and yeah,
Shakila, Arpana.
yeah, I think even Rajiv need to add. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rajiv.
Raj.
Yeah, guys, just drop your phone numbers in the chat box so that Ajmal will add you in the group. So before going into the class, I just wanted to ask or check. You guys have created users, everyone, or can I know who didn't try that?
This is Ahmed. I still need to create a user.
Yeah, Ahmed, you're fine. I think you're
Okay.
first class, right? It should be fine.
All right. Thanks.
Anyone else? So everyone created the users. Can anyone quickly just share your screen and show me the list of users what you have created? um, Mohammed or Ajmal, can you share your screen? Or
I
Uh,
have created the user.
Srikanth, I haven't got a chance to make it one, but today evening I will definitely do it.
yeah, I was asking the same thing.
I
Anyone
have
else who didn't do
I
it?
have created and I'm taking class on the phone.
I have created.
Sayed, okay. And yeah, Sayed, I'll check yours. Meanwhile, let's go through. Anyone else who didn't do it? Can you please just let me know? Deepak, have you done it? Like, you want to share your screen?
Second, I didn't do it. I'll do it today.
Okay. So can I know who did it at least? Syed and
I did it. I also did it.
okay. Yep. Okay. Shilpa, you can share your screen.
I'll have to log into my credentials.
Mhm.
Yeah, just give me a moment.
Okay. So guys, just be proactive with the tasks. Uh, if you can try to do the task daily, then only you can see. You need to practice. So just in 2 days, getting the whole AWS is not a easy task. You need to practice. If you keep on moving the things to tomorrow, it will pile up.
Yes, Shrikant. Now I can share my screen.
Yeah.
1 minute. Uh, 1 minute, Shrikant.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah. Not yet.
I am unable to find the option to share the screen.
Yeah. Scroll your cursor to the center of the screen. Yeah. I think you're able to do it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see your screen. Okay. You have only
It
created
is.
one user.
Oh, yes, Shrikant.
Okay. The task is to create all users, right?
Oh, sorry. I just created one user.
Anyone else who created all the users?
Shrikant, can I share my screen?
Yeah. Yeah. Chandra, please go ahead.
Shrikant, even I created only one or two just to get an idea. I mean, how I can assign the roles. I didn't create a lot of users though.
Okay. Yeah, just take a screenshot of the list of users what we have right now and try to create users. Guys, you need to practice. If I just keep on like teaching and going on, you won't get anything. That's the reason I'm checking so that you will be doing your tasks on time. Chandrakala, are you trying to share the screen or do you need more time?
Screen.
I don't see your screen.
Share. Can you tell me how to do that? It's not showing anywhere here.
Scroll your cursor to the center of the screen. You'll see a small tray where you have a video, camera,
Yeah,
microphone.
it's there and it's an open share tray.
Yes. Can you select that and select the first option? The first window.
Yeah, and
And
the screen and yeah,
hit
yeah.
OK.
One second. Where is my screen?
Yeah, I see your screen. Can you open your IAM management console?
But I'm seeing your one.
Yeah, that is fine.
It's,
See, there is a tab, IAM management tab, right? Yeah, go there. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Select any one of it. Open Aman. Yeah, open it. Open it. Yeah. Click on the name. Click on the name. So you have given easy to full access for this. I mean, okay.
Yes,
And so you have
yes.
given The same permission for all the users, or did you try
Yeah.
different things?
Actually, I tried different for Harika and Kiran, programmatic access also,
Okay.
and Kiran for S3, I think.
Okay.
I am user it's a programmatic password
Okay.
and
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Can you go to the groups? Did you create any groups?
yeah, I created one group as a team and I added all the users to this team.
Okay. And did you, yeah, select the team, and did you add permissions to the team? Select the permissions.
Permissions I added only emission EC2.
Okay. Okay. And one more thing. So when you create this group, right? And you want to add people into the group, you can add permissions to group only. You don't need to add permissions to users separately. Okay, so that's the main use of the groups. So that once you create these permissions and attach to the group, you can just create a user and drop the user in the group so that it will inherit the permissions automatically from the
So
group.
if I give permissions to a particular group and if I want to change per person for any other permission, can I add it like that?
Yeah, then you can create couple of groups, or you can remove the user from that group and
No. For this group team, I added Amazon EC2 full access, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this, 8 users are there.
Mm-hmm.
So for Harika, if I need S3, so
Mm-hmm.
can I add it?
Yeah, so now you have added S3 for Harika, right? So now
Yes.
Harika, but you didn't add the full access as a user, right?
Okay.
So now Harika will have S3 access and EC2 full access also, because
Okay.
EC2 full access she is inheriting from the group, and
Okay.
S3 full access is inheriting from the user. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
you can add extra permissions to single user. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's do the same drill. Try to create users and try to give different permissions. And for few users, don't give any permissions and just put them in the group. And also try to log in from one or two of these users, so that you will also know how to log into the
Uh-huh.
IAM user.
In this checking where the user is.
Yeah, Ajmal, you're trying to say something? Okay. Okay, then let me quickly start the class. So, before um, starting the class, do you guys have any questions on IAM, like whatever we have discussed yesterday, creating users, groups, policies? No, right? I'm taking this as no. Um, okay. And one more thing, guys, be interactive in the class. Just try to talk, respond. Uh, okay. So we have these users here in this, right? Okay, so you can see my screen, right? So now we have in IAM, we have policies, roles, groups, anything else, policies, groups. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, these are the important things. Okay. So in the IAM, so what is IAM? Full form. Anyone?
Identity
Yep. Identity.
Access management.
Access management.
management.
Yeah. IAM is identity access management. Guys, just because you are new to this AWS thing, so just try to um, use the full names so that you will get habituated even for easy to try to get what's the full forms and then practice in that way. IAM is identity access management. So in this we have policies, we have roles and we have groups. So can anyone say like what are policies?
Policies are a bunch of access permissions.
Yeah, policies are nothing but set of rules where we restrict or add permissions, right? In granular level. So when I say granular level, what does that mean?
To the last level of
Exactly. So as small as possible, as small as possible, right? That means if see right now, whatever access you guys have given for users, any of the users, you have given it uh, like full access or you have restricted the access, but you can also go to the granular level. That means if you have 100 instance, you can also create a policy to have access to only one instance also, the least possible way to restrict the rules. You can go you can restrict in that level. So policies are very important because that's where you give permissions, you take permissions. So if something is going wrong, then policies are the very important things where we need to look into so that you have proper permissions to do that task or perform or launch any instance or do anything. So policies are very very important. Whatever you have issues or like whatever things you are doing, you can do only if you have proper policies, right? Proper policies. So you understood what policies are, right? So policies can be directly attached to the user, but mostly policies are attached to the roles. Roles is nothing but set of policies. Okay, that means you can add set of policies. That means, see, when you're working on IAM, it's not that you will be working only on EC2. You will be working on a lot of things. So you need to attach a lot of policies in it, like so many policies, and it will become a role. And the important use of role is we use it for, so important use of the role is we use it for services in AWS. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean? Can anyone say? We use roles for the services in AWS. Can anyone say that? Like, can anyone guess what that is?
my understanding was, the role are like a basket where all the policies are included, and you will assign the role to the user.
Yeah. So role to user. No, see, you have already created a user, right? Did you attach
Right.
a role or did you attach a policy?
Uh, Role should be attached to the user.
No, you have already created a user. Did you attach a role or did you attach a policy?
Uh, I believe I created a role, and in the role I added policies, and then I assigned that role to the user.
Okay. And okay, that is fine. Then what is the meaning of like services in AWS? You're using it for services in AWS.
Maybe a title.
No. So when we are creating policies and attaching to the user, so what are we doing? We are giving permissions or restricting permissions to user, right? Is
Right.
that correct?
Yes, right.
Yeah. So in the same way, even services need to have permissions to access different services in AWS. Example, if you store a file in S3 bucket, okay, in S3 bucket you can store files. You can put any file and that would look like a Google Drive. If you need to access that file from an EC2 instance, that EC2 instance need to have access to that S3 bucket. That means EC2 is an AWS service. S3 is an AWS service. To grant permission for that EC2, right, for S3 bucket, you need to create a role and attach that role to that EC2 instance. You understood what I'm trying to say?
Actually, no. I mean, I'm a little confused there. I mean, how
Okay.
attaching the
So, okay. So this is user. Okay. So, basically this is user. Okay. So, so user, what we are creating a user and attaching policy, right? What we are doing, so what is a policy? Policy is nothing but
permissions.
permissions, right? So this user will have permissions to do what? Like what are the
So,
permissions to do?
Perform the day-to-day task.
Perform the day-to-day task, and it is service level, right? That means, EC2 is one service. So you're giving access to those services for an user, right? So a user will be able to create an EC2 instance, right? So user can create EC2 instance. So that's the so so that is the user. So in the same way, there is an EC2 instance which you have already created. You guys have already created an EC2 instance. So there is an S3 bucket. Okay, S3 bucket. So you want to get files from this S3 bucket. This EC2 user or EC2 instance need to have permissions to communicate with this S3 service. So at that point of time, what do? You attach a role to it so that this EC2 instance will have permission to access files in this S3 bucket. Is it clear right now? If this EC2 instance doesn't have a proper role to access S3, it won't have access.
So it should go through EC2, right?
Right, it should go through EC2. So it's not only an EC2 to S3. I'm giving you an example, taking EC2 because EC2 you already created and you know what is EC2. In the same way, we can attach these roles to all the services in AWS, so that these services will have access to other services in AWS. Like EC2 will have access to S3. So previously, a user will have access to EC2, a user will have access to S3. Here it is not like that. It is communication between services.
So
Again, when I say communication, it's not network, it's access.
so we can add them like in one policy, right? Or different policies. We have to create different groups or different policies, or one group one policy, or based on the requirements.
Yeah, so when I said roles, what is roles?
Set of policies.
Yeah, set of
Right? Set of policies. That means how many policies you want to add, you will add that policies to the role and you will attach the role, not the policy.
Can you show us where in EC2 you can attach the role?
Yeah, we'll do it. But just I wanted to
Yeah, I got the
confirm you
concept.
understood
Yeah.
this.
So basically, I mean, for every instance or S3 or whatever that is, I mean, we need to attach a role to that so that it
Every service,
every services.
every service in AWS should or like at some point of time need access to different services in AWS. So at that point of time, what do? You attach a role. You attach a role. Got it?
Come with Autobox, some of the roles attached to them, or no?
What is that?
Do they come by default? Are there any roles attached to these services?
No, you need to attach it by yourself.
Okay.
Okay. So when you create a user, do you get any like default ones? You don't get any default ones, right? You have to attach the default ones, right? You need to attach it. So in the same way, when you create an EC2, it won't have any default roles attached to it. You need to attach a role.
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, if your question is about predefined roles, which will be existed in IAM, yeah, we'll be having some roles, but it won't be automatically or defaultly attached to any service. Okay.
Okay.
Each service is single entity. If you have to have access to different services, you need to have a role to it. Okay. Got it? Any questions here?
No.
Just like if I'll show, we'll go practical, but I wanted to know theoretically you have understood this. Policies, see, those are set of rules. Roles are set of policies. Policies are set of rules. Remember it. Roles are set of policies. Where do we use policies? We use policies either to create roles, right? Roles are again set of policies, right? So where do we use policies? Either to attach it to a user or to attach it to a role. And in the second place, where do we use roles? To attach it to the services. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now the groups.
Yes.
Groups, right? It's easy. So we can create different groups, and whatever users we are creating here, you can add users and you can attach the same policies here. Okay, you can attach a policy to the group and you can add hundreds of users in the same group, and you don't need to attach policies to each user. You can just drop the user there. Okay, now we'll go back to our console, and so everyone understood this concept, right?
Yes, Shrikant.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So next thing is we'll go. Okay. Access. when you're creating access, there are two type of access. What are they?
Read, write, or read all.
No, when you're creating a user, you can able to give two types of access. There is most of you, like everyone have seen what I've done.
Programmatic access and console access.
Yes, programmatic access and
AWS
console
managed
access.
console access.
Yeah, what does that mean? What is the console and what is the programmatic access?
Console access means you can create a password for the user.
Mm-hmm.
Programmatic access, you can give permissions for particular developer services.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that is correct too. And to make it clear, okay, whatever you guys are creating, like, whatever, when you create a user, you would be able to log into this instance with the, not instance, to the console with that user, right? You are able to log into that. So this is what all this console, it's a GUI, right? What is GUI?
Graphic user interface.
Yeah, GUI is a graphical user interface, right? So that means when you click anything, you can open something and all that. So you are doing it graphically, okay? And programmatic is nothing but CLI. What is CLI?
Command line.
Command line interface, exactly. So the best example for both of this is console. When you're giving console access, it's a GUI. That means you can basically go in and create a, log into that user and create instances by clicking it. When you click something, that's graphically represented over there, the instance, there's a name written out there. So you're clicking instance, example here. So all this is graphical interface, right? So they do UI UX so that graphically you can see this. See, you can see policy, what it is. You're clicking it and the actions are done in that way, right? So all these things, it is graphical. So you can do the same things in command line too. Okay, you can do the same things in the command line too. Command line is nothing but like this. Okay, this is the command line. So even in Windows, when you open a folder, right, you can open a folder, you can open the desktop. So when you click, when you see the cursor and when you click those things, so that is graphical interface. We can do the same thing in the command line also, if you can see. So see, if you can see, right now I'm in users folder. Okay, this is same thing as we going into users folder graphically. Okay, so anything what we can do graphically, we can do it in command line also. This is very much similar even in the AWS. So when you give programmatic access, you are giving it as command line. When you're giving console access, you are basically giving for the graphical user interface. You can just go click it, and you can open it. Okay, mostly programmatic access just are used for CLI and SDK. What are SDKs? What are SDKs?
Shrikant, where can we set up these accesses though for CLI and GUI?
Yeah, I'll let you know. Before that, just wanted to understand you understood this thing. See, guys, after the theory, I'll show everything practically. Okay,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
So
Okay,
you're talking about software development kit, right?
yeah, SDK is nothing but software development kit. So there are some software development kits like Eclipse or some other development kits. So there, if you wanted to get access to AWS services, what you do is you will be giving programmatic access to a user and you configure that user to the SDK and some third party softwares. So that's programmatic access, that's the console access. Okay. Now, so do anyone have any questions on this thing? Programmatic access, console access?
Yeah, but we need to know some commands in order to perform the CLI, though, right? And we don't need to perform any kind of command in GUI, right?
Yeah. In GUI, you don't have, so that is the main use of GUI. In the GUI, you don't use commands. In
They're
CLI, you use commands.
easy access.
Yeah, but both of them do the same thing. Basically, when you open anything, right? When you open or click or create anything, this is just an API call in the background. Okay, API call to the AWS services in the background. So whatever you click here, you're clicking anything. So that's an API call in the backend. So you are doing that API call from GUI. If it is console access, if it is programmatic access, you do it from command line. I'll show you quickly that. So you understood what I'm trying to say, right? So in graphical user interface, you don't need to give any commands. You're opening this one, you're opening in this way. So when I click this users, you're getting this thing. So example, when I click here open, when I click here EC2, right? I can see the instances here. Okay, the same thing you can see in CLI also. We need to configure that CLI and we need to use it properly. I'll show that in the next topic. But right now you understood what is GUI and what is CLI, right? GUI is graphical user interface. CLI is command line. Okay. And this same topic, you need to understand this topic properly. And if you have questions, ask me because the same topic will come when we discuss about OS also. Before going to the EC2 instance, we'll discuss about OS. When you're creating an OS when you're creating an instance, you're selecting an OS, right? Which is Windows. And there are other OS also, which are Linux, Unix. Linux is command line. Windows is graphical, GUI. So same topics will come there too. So you need to understand. GUI is graphical user interface where you have cursor, you click things and you can do the tasks by clicking.
So if the company has Linux, then this won't be there. You have to use the commands, correct?
This is something else.
You have to use the commands, but not for the AWS, right? Those are for your application. So most of the
Application.
companies use Linux machines for application.
Okay.
So you need to know a little Linux, like command lines. Those are
Right.
just commands. It's not program, right? It's not you're not developing any application. So those are like simple commands. You can get that. You can get there too, and which are very easy. Basically, when you see them on the black screen, you'll be a little paranoid, but don't worry about it. It's very easy. Okay.
Okay.
And that is an extra topic if you wanted to, grow more and curious to learn things, you can do. If not, you don't need to because once you create the instance, you hand over those instance to applications team and they will do all that stuff. Okay, you don't need to log into this. Okay, but you need to understand what's going on inside. So how when you're creating, you're try to you're able to try to connect to Windows instance. In the same way, you need to able to create, log into the Linux instance too. So we will get there. But for now, you understood what is CLI and what is GUI, right?
Yes.
And you understood what are roles and what are policies, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Shilpa, can you say like what are policies?
Like they are the set of the rules, like to restrict or add permissions.
Set of rules or set of roles?
Rules.
Roles. Correct. Pile, what is role?
Role is set of policies.
Role is set of policies. And where do we use those policies? Sorry, roles.
We can attach the roles to the services.
Correct.
AWS.
Correct. Yes, correct. So remember this. And one more thing is the access also, guys. That is an exam question. Okay, when you create a user, yesterday we have done the same drill. We are doing it again. So today I'll do it in a different way. So when I give a user, you can give. Let me give like Srikanth, right? And then before yesterday we have given only two access, only console access. But today I'll give both the access, programmatic access and AWS management console access. And when I have to create a custom password, I'll do same test 123, and I don't need to sign in and go to the next. And here, attaching the policy. See, Mohammed, I don't know, Mohammed or Syed. I'm creating the user, and what I'm attaching. I'm attaching the policies, not the roles. So you have mentioned that you're attaching roles to the user. No, you're
Yes. I
attaching
mean,
the
I
policies.
think, I mean, I was attaching the policy.
Yes. So there are no roles. Yeah, right. And I'll give, let me give administrator access to myself so that I'll have access to everything. When you see administrative access, see when you wanted to see what these access are other than the name. So if you can see action, all, see star means everything, resource, everything. So it will have access to everything. Okay. Simple, right? But you have everything in it. When you go to the policy summary, you can see these are the services, because they see you got access to all 271 services in this thing. So administrator access is very powerful. Make sure you give it to proper person. Don't give it to everyone in the company. And when you give it, if you have a manager, or if you have manage, like when you're creating a user for some person, and if they have any manager, take permissions from their manager and your manager as well when you do this stuff, because you're giving away access to everything. Okay. And next, most of the development guys, they don't need access to everything. They need access to only EC2, EMR, Redshift, RDS, only those things. You don't need to give permissions to everything. Make sure you confirm it to the managers before you do it. Okay, so I'm creating. So at the review, you can see username is Srikanth, and what type of access I'm giving, both programmatic access and console access. You can see, right? Both the access are there. And password custom, required password reset, no. And permissions, what are the permissions I've given? Administrative access and create user. This is straightforward, right? You don't have any questions on it. So if I have to log into this instance, to the console, you can log in here and see The access keys and secret keys, guys, once you close this, these are gone. Okay, copy this before you close it, or else download the CSV. You will get the credentials here. So this is the access key, this is the secret key. So these are used only for programmatic access. These are used only for programmatic access. So now what I'll do is command line. Okay, in the command line, okay. So if you can see, let me close it. Let me show. Either you can use CMD. CMD will open your command line, or you can also use PowerShell. You can use any one of it. You can use any of this for the CLI stuff. What you'll do is you need to install the AWS CLI in your Windows machine. So you can ask me like, where can I get the AWS CLI? AWS CLI for Windows. If you search for it, you will get the documentation where you can get the software. If you can see installation or update the Windows CLI, and you can download the latest MSI. Like let me show it to you. I've clicked that and see the AWS CLI is there right now. So what you can do is just once the download is complete, you can install this like how you regularly install the stuff. What happened? Someone trying to get in, or like okay, see, this installation is completed. So if you can see like how you regularly install it, you can install in the same way. Just click that MSI. It's very similar to exe installation. So once you click it, please wait. The wizard is preparing. So if you can see next, just hit next, accept, next, next, install. So basically you're installing the AWS CLI. So this is just for you to show how we'll access the same console using CLI. CLI is what? Command line interface. The name itself, you can see it's a command stuff. And one more thing, guys, you need to be very, 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 very careful when you create these programmatic keys. Okay, because these are programmatic keys, they can be easily misplaced and easily stolen. And I don't know if you have seen, uh, let it install. I don't know if you know. Okay, installation is completed. I've hit finish. I don't know if you have, if you know, the biggest hacking issue happened in AWS thing is in Capital One. I don't know if you guys know that Capital One AWS breach. See, capital one to pay 80 millions in connection with massive data breach. That breach has been from AWS Cloud, and that is with the access keys. You can see what can we learn from capital one hack. They'll tell you. That's the reason most of the companies stopped creating access keys and secret keys for users or for other stuff. If it is needed, they do it, but when they do it, they'll give granular level access, and they'll maintain it properly. But this, whatever happened, it happened only because of access keys and secret keys. The guy who worked in the company have uh, taken the keys and got all the data from the company, like whatever users they have. He got all the data, and he just thrown that in internet. So it was a biggest, like that happened only because of access keys and secret keys. So make sure it's only with you, and if you also create it, just try to destroy it once your use is done. Okay. So okay, now we have installed AWS CLI, and then once you install it, you can access it with the command line tools. What are those tools? CMD and PowerShell. Okay, and if you hit AWS, see, when you hit an AWS, you get this thing. If you don't get it, if it has given some error, then that means the AWS is not available in your system right now. If you can see, it says AWS help, AWS command, and all this stuff. So that means there is an AWS thing here. So right now we know there is AWS CI installed in this. So when in GUI, what do you do? In GUI, basically, I have created my user here. And what do you do in GUI? You'll go into the sign on and then give your username and password, right? Like how you do it like this. Let me open it. I'll show you parallelly what I'm doing. Okay, AWS. Let me copy. Other than that, you can copy this like this, so that you don't need to give this account number. Okay, and okay, so see, if you use that, it will automatically take the account number. Okay, and what is the user we have created? Srikanth, right? Srikanth, and the password is TEST at the rate of 123, right? Guys, are you following me, or like you just kept the meeting in mute and doing your work?
No, we are following Srikant.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So see, I have logged into this mission. Okay, graphically, GUI, management console. In the same way, in the command line, how do you log into this? How do you get that this thing? Okay, what you need to do is you need to set up the AWS CLI. So how do you do it? AWS configure. Okay, when you hit AWS configure, you will be able to configure it. So then what does it asking? It's asking for an access key. So where do we get that access key? We have already, when we created the user, it gave us the access key, right? Just copy that access key and place it here, and then hit enter. Then it will ask you for secret key. Okay, where do you get the secret key? You get it from here.
I guess Shrikant, you went too fast, so we were not able to see the actual thing. Uh, it could be possible that it's my computer, but I don't know. I mean, if others followed it or not. But for me, it was like the screen was coming late. So
uh, is it the same thing for everyone?
No, not for me.
And I
No,
think
Srikant.
you need to rejoin or check your connections.
Okay.
Okay. So you can see this right now. It's asking for secret key, and where do we get that secret key? You get it from here. And see guys, once I close this, you won't be getting this example. Let me show. I'm closing this. So when I open here, you will be able to see what, where are those access advisory security credentials. When you go for security credentials, you will be able to see only the access key. You won't be able to see secret key. You can see this, right? So once I close it, it's gone. But if you download the those thing, you will get it in here. See, username Srikanth, and this is the access key, and this is the secret key. Okay, so because I've downloaded the file, it is there. So make sure you download it or save those things. Okay, let's go back to this quickly. So we have given access keys here, you have given secret key here. That means you are configuring AWS to log in automatically to the account what we have created, which is Srikanth user, right? And it's asking you for which reason. So see, when I log in GUI, I have logged in here, right? And I've logged into Ohio, right? So, but it has logged in automatically. Understood. But in CLI, you need to give everything that, okay, I wanted to go to Ohio, I wanted to go to North Virginia in that thing. And you can see the instances EC2. I've gone to EC2 and there are instances. I've opened these instances and there are 3 instances. So we'll do the same stuff with CLI. What do we do? So it's asking which region I need to go. So which region is this?
North Virginia.
So this is North Virginia. So I need to give North Virginia here, but I need to give it in the way how AWS API will understand. So can I know like what is the representation for North Virginia? Do anyone of you know?
Representation means
Is it the code you are asking?
US.
Is it VA?
Yeah, the reason, see here US East, North Virginia is, they have given it North Virginia for you to understand. But for command line, the computer has to understand. You cannot give North Virginia there. Okay, you need to give the way how it understands. So the code for North Virginia is what?
US East 1.
Yes, exactly.
And
So I told you previously, for regions you use US East 1, US East 2, US West 1, US West 2. But if it is availability zone, what do you give? US East
1A, 1B,
1A, 1B, 1C. For
1.
region, it's US East 1. So at least for these two, it should be default one, right? You need to remember this. North Virginia US East 1 and North Ohio US East 2, and North California US West 1, Oregon US West 2. At least these four. Only four regions are there in US. Two on west side, two on east side. Okay, and the default one is North Virginia. So what is the code word for North Virginia?
US East 1.
US East 1. So we'll give US hyphen East hyphen 1. Okay, and output, how do you want to see the output? I'll go for basic text. So you can get the output in 4 ways, either in text or in JSON or in a table, or in, there is one more thing also, I don't remember, but you can get outputs in 4 formats. I'm just giving it in the plain text. Okay, I've given it in plain text, and when I hit enter, that's it, you have configured it. So that means now the AWS CLI have access to this console, and it has already configured it and it has logged into it. And when I hit any commands, it will get the data from here, right? Example, AWS EC2 You can see it, right? When I try to give, so it's showing all the 3 instances what we are seeing there. Example, let me show you instance. So you can see it is I05AA31, and maybe let's see, just remember last 4 digits, 92F4. Okay, and what is the name of it? Did it give the name of the instance? Did it give the name of the instance? No. Okay, so the instance ID is 92F4. Let us see if we have it. 92F4. Do we have it? No. Where did it connect it to? Three one E 3862F. 3862F. Is it the same thing which we are connected, or is it a different one? Okay. Okay. So if you can see here, Windows ARCus Dev and the okay. 9080. So if you can see this one, this is the instance it's giving on 9080. See, right now we are able to see all these things. We have given the filter running, so that's the reason we have already seen 3. But there, when we have asked describe instances, it's giving all the instances. So if you can see, 9080 is the last one, and the name of the instance is Windows ARCus Dev. Okay, you can see the same thing. The name of it is Windows ARCus Dev, and the instance ID here, it is 9080, and the type is M4X large, and the name is Windows Quest. So the same thing what we have opened on the console, sorry, on the GUI, we got the same output here. So you can also create the EC2 instance from CLI itself, like how we have launched. So you need to give command like AWS EC2. Maybe we can see AWS EC2. Okay, AWS EC2 help. So if you can see, so these are the commands you can use. AWS EC2 product page. So so these are the available commands. If you can see, there are so many commands which are available, and you can use all these commands to navigate around. See, GUI is very easy. You can just click here, you can click there, and you will be able to go into that. But if you wanted to do command line, you need to run through all these commands to do it. So see, if you can see, create volume, create VPC, create VPC endpoint. Okay, in the same way, we can create everything from command line itself. See, delete key pair, create key pair. So this is the stuff. So you understood, right? AWS configure. And if you can see, that is already configured to the access key is still there. Previously we got none in this place, but now we can see that there is key already, and there is secret key already, and the region we can change it now if you want. And text, let me try table here so that maybe we can get a better output. So I've changed it to table output, and now I'm running the same command to describe the instance. Now we got output in a different way. This is in table. So I think each block is the each instance, and instance type, MC this thing, and instance ID is here, and you get all the details in this way when you go for table. This is the same output what we got before. Before we got it in plain text, now we got it in the table format. It's a long list.
Yeah, Shrikant, do we use it though, or is it better to just go with GUI instead?
No, it's better. It's better to go with the GUI only. But I'm just showing you how we use the CLI and how we use the GUI, just for your understanding.
Yeah, or nowadays most of the company using the GUI, I guess, right?
Yeah, GUI. See, for EC2 instances and all that, they don't do it. But for for S3, they go with CLI only, like AWS.
Yeah,
S3.
for some certain features, we must have to use the CLI. For
Yeah,
example, if we have to use multiple at the same time, then CLI is the best one, but not
yeah,
the GUI.
exactly. See, for S3 is like the files over those. So S3, we didn't go to S3 yet, but I'm just giving you just an overview for this topic. S3 is nothing but like Google Drive. I've given this example already, right? So you can create buckets, right? So this is one of the bucket here, which we have created. Bucket is nothing but just a folder. They're just, as I told you, they use different names to confuse you, but bucket is nothing but a folder. And in that folder, I've created something like it's just same as the Google Drive. Just upload, add files. You can add files, any of these files. Okay, example, I've given this file. Okay, and just upload it. That's it. This is how you do in Google Drive also, right? You upload things in the same way, right? See, succeeded. That's it. Just to, so the destination is here. Yes, you're able to understand, right? Just upload, and I got this file. I have uploaded the file here. If you want to download, just select it and action and download. That's it. This is the use of S3. You just save the data. Very simple. Just to see, even the GUI is, you don't have any like a lot of things here. Just create a bucket. Bucket is just nothing but a folder. When you open a folder, you can put data in it. That might be a movie, that might be a photo, that might be Excel sheet, whatever it is, you can save data here. S3, simple, right? You understood? Guys, I need answer.
Yes,
Yes, Shrikant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for CLI, they use this one. Example C, I did S3, AWS S3 LS, and I can see the three folders what we see here. See, so these are the three folders, right? SK456729 So these are the three folders we get here. Okay, if I wanted to go into this folder, SK folder, I'll copy. Right. See, now I have opened the folder and I can see all three documents what are there, right? These are the three documents, right? Doc, SKS, text, and test txt. Doc, sk text, test txt. Can you see these things?
Yes.
Yeah. So now you understood the command line and GUI are very much similar. There is no difference for this thing. Just that command line is where you give commands to do the task or navigate around. And for GUI, you will be using your cursor or clicks to do the same stuff.
But command line is very easy to operate the multiple things at the same time, which we cannot use in the GUI, though, right? And there is some certain different features have in the command line if you compare with the GUI, right?
No, there won't be much, but there are very, very, very advanced stuff which you can only do in CLI. Uh, but yes, but almost like 98% whatever you can do on CLI, you can do it in GUI. And GUI is much simpler, but CLI is faster.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the major difference. Uh, so now you understood the programmatic access. This is the programmatic access. We have given access keys and secret keys. So not only in AWS CLI, we can give it on other third-party applications or SDKs. Guys, this is not SDK. SDK is something like Eclipse, where you need to give the same. See, the configuration is very similar. You need to give access keys and secret keys, and it will automatically connect to this account.
Question for you, Shrikant.
Mhm.
And that we are using, what commands are we using though? Is it the Windows commands or Linux commands or AWS has their own commands?
Their own command. See, AWS S3. So whatever type, see the you can go here and you can see like AWS CLI commands. Okay, to describe instance, it will give these things. But if you go for CLI commands, for see you can go for S3, you can go for EC2, you see just go for cheat sheet. There is a good cheat sheet too. So see, configure, we did this already, right? Configure, we can give a profile name. If you are having 3 or 4 different accounts, you can give a profile name for each account, and you can navigate. And output, I've told you, right? We have 4 types of output. Text, table, we have already used this. JSON and a YAML. I think this is the new thing which they got. YAML stream. Previously it was not there, but these are the 4 types of output formats we can use. Now we have used both text and table. You saw that, right? You understood how we get the output. So when we give a command, there should be output, and that output will be in this format. And you need to give a reason here and API gateway. So all these are commands. See, this is for CloudWatch, Cognito. So these are different services. EBS, EC2. See, EC2 describe instance. We did this already, right? In the same way, you can add. So you can add more things also to get more stuff here. And S3, we did S3LS. Let's see if they have S3LS. If you wanted to go more about this, S3. See,
On
S3,
the left
AWS
hand side, you
S3LS, we
see,
did this. What is it?
on the left hand side, you see S3, right?
Yeah, that's fine. So we got this S3LS, we can get it. So I'm pasting this in your chat.
Srikant, Ahmed question was that like, okay, which CLI commands? So meaning each command means like every software have a different their own commands, so we have to use those. The CLI. This is what he's asking. He want to make sure. So which command line he has to use is based on the software, is based on the services. So AWS has their own command line, and SQL has their own command line, and so every software has their own command line. So we cannot use that. But similarly, means like for the basic thing we can use the same one, but for the in depth, it's all different.
Okay. But see, if, when you say each services or each software, SQL commands, if you give it for AWS, will it work?
No. This is what I'm saying. No.
Yeah. So each one will have their own cheat sheet or each commands, and
Yes.
that is what I have pasted you in this thing. So if
No,
you
no.
want to go through that,
I think the Sayyid means like Ahmad. He asked you, so he was little confused about the command line. So this is what I was trying to tell you, that like he was asking you something else.
yeah, see, yeah. See, that is what even for SQL have their own commands, like or to connect to SQL or to create a table, to create a schema, they have their own commands. In the same way, for you to navigate around AWS, they have their own commands. Though that is AWS CLI commands, and I pasted that cheat sheet if you guys wanted to practice. So basically, if you do this will like look very cool actually in the workplace. Everyone can do it on the GUI. If you do it on CLI, it will make difference. So but you don't need to do in CLI. It's easier, faster on not faster, I mean uh, it's easier on GUI. But if you wanted to learn, it is better to do it, because most of the people, so not for creating anything, but if you wanted to get some files from S3, and if you are using Linux, you don't have another option, you don't have GUI option to do it, right? Previously I gave you an example. To connect EC2 user to connect an S3, it should have access to S3 by role. When you attach the role, yes, it will get access, but how do you access it? You cannot open S3 Windows sorry Amazon console in Linux thing. Linux is completely command line, right? At that point of time, you will install AWS CLI and install try to navigate to S3 bucket and download the file. So we'll do that also in the next classes, but I'm just letting you know, most of the companies use Linux machines, and for you to communicate or work with different services, you need to have AWS CLI.
But some people is still using, some companies is still using Linux operating system instead of Windows, right? So sometime like we don't have any option to use the GUI, right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The for the applications, they're using Linux machine only. At that point of time, it's only CLI. But again, what I'm trying to say here is, even the companies are using Linux, that they are using it to connect to a box, but your main desktop will have Windows only, like, right? You will have Windows machine only to connect to a Linux machine. So there you can open AWS console. To creating this stuff, we are not using CLI. To communicating and to get access, we are using CLI. And I'll show you that very in the next classes. Don't need to worry. Now, whatever we have done creating EC2, for that, I don't think, maybe like 1% in the whole cloud guys are using CLI to create this stuff, like EC2 instance or any other services. But S3,
One more thing.
95% are using on CLI. Yeah, go ahead.
One more thing, Srikanth.
Mhm.
You told that CLI will be more quicker, faster than GUI.
Mhm.
So when the instances are more, will the speed difference can be, we can see this speed difference, we can identify it, is what I'm trying to ask.
No. So see, when I'm saying faster, that means the API calls, right? When I told you, if you're clicking the instance, that means there is an API call in the background to the AWS guys that, hey, I need the list of instance. So you're getting those instance. So
Okay.
to get the result, right, or the API calls, that is faster in CLI. See, that is very, very negligible. You don't see even in
Okay, okay.
see even in console. You click here, you can immediately get it, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No. I thought when you told, right, real time will have thousands of instances and all that stuff. And I
Uh,
thought accessing and using in such instances, I thought CLI will be more effective, is what I thought when you told it is faster. That's the reason I asked.
no, not that. It's just an
Oh,
API
okay.
call. So when I open this example, when I open here buckets, it has loaded fastly. But when I open EC2 instances, right, how much time it's getting. So it's loading it and then it's giving you. And here, when you open it, it's loading the instances. So the time, the 3 seconds of what it has loaded,
Oh, okay,
that's
okay.
what I was trying to say. If I
So,
do the AWS describe here, see, you got all that stuff, right? So that's what I was
yes.
trying to say.
Okay,
because
okay.
because here there is a graphical interface. The UI UX has to send a API call, and that API call will go to the background database, and then it will fetch the data and it will show it
Yes.
here. So that's the background. Here it's just like the command is directly going in. Even in the
Okay.
GUI, right, in the backend, these commands were integrated to clicks. So when I click here, when I click EC2 dashboard, it says like describe EC2 instance in the backend, and that
Okay.
command will go as an API call. Here, you are giving that command directly. That means you are there is like
It's kind
one
of the raw version and the polished version, kind of.
exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, so that is the CLI, and that's the programming, and this other access. So now let's go back to users. You understood the programmatic access, right? And you understood groups, right? Groups you understood, right? Everyone. You can create a new group called dev group, and you can give only developer access to those guys, and you can create dev. Maybe you can give like
One more thing I would like to ask you, that like you have mentioned that like, okay, we cannot give admin rights to each and every individual, right? So admin only can have admin rights, and he have a authority to give the rights to anyone he want based on the request, right?
not only admin. See, I can create a user. Let me give you. I can create a user. I'll give a user called Deepak, right? And I'll give some. Let me give only just programmatic access, so that I don't need to give password. Okay. So and when I go here, I can give IAM full access, right? IAM full access. If I give IAM full access, IAM is nothing but what? Identity access management. He can create users.
Got it.
Go to the next and next and create a user. So if I try to connect with Deepak thing, or like console, if you have it, what I can do, Deepak will only have access to create users. So when you are placed in security team, like a like IAM team or like a user creation team, they'll give access to only this one. So when we what do you get a request from a specific team that I need list of this users for this project for this permissions, you'll create those users, those permissions, they'll do it, or you'll attach it to the, or what do, you integrate it with ADs, and whenever there is a request, you just change the policies. That's it.
Okay. And one more thing, that like based on the servers, we can make a management console. I mean, management consoles will be only one, but the server console will be different, right?
What is that? I didn't get it. Can I?
is a let's say AWS management console, and we want to make a server console. Let's say ABC1, ABC2, ABC3. You got my point? What I'm saying?
So the management console is this, right? Whatever we can see here.
Exactly. But
Okay.
if you want to make, suppose we have three servers.
Mhm.
I'm just asking. I'm just giving you example for the database. I'm talking about the database.
Mhm.
Okay, so suppose we have ABC1, ABC2, and ABC3. So we can make the server console ABC1 server console, ABC2 server console, ABC3 server console, and management will be remain same because management is a primary, right?
Mhm.
You understand my point or not?
I'm not getting the point where you're saying ABC
Let me
console.
reframe it, Shrikant. Let me reframe it. It's kind of if Krishna had created the initial this thing, and after that you will be accessing, right? When you get this I am full access, I am full, then
Mhm.
you will start creating different groups for
Mhm.
different projects in the company, right?
Mhm.
And that's what he's asking. When CEO will have the actual root user, and
No,
then
see,
he'll create
no.
users.
Root user won't be used. That's what I'm trying to say, you
Okay.
guys. Root user, you won't use it for regular use. Once you create a root user, you give an create a user called some like same name. You can give the same name, give administrator full access, and with that IAM user, you will be creating the other users. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So we don't need to create another means like console, server console, right? So management console can contain everything in AWS. Is that you're trying to say, right?
Yeah. So there won't be any server console. That's just that in whatever server you just put those access keys and secret keys, you will get access to that. That's it. It's just like straightforward thing. You are accessing this management console with URL for GUI. For CLI, you will be just giving that access keys and secret keys. That's it. So, so this whole AWS management console is not a server. It's just an interface AWS is giving to you to create. It's like how you shop on Amazon.com. You can shop infrastructure or inventory or services in this console. That's it. You got it?
Yes, I got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So, okay. So now this is fine, right? Now roles. We didn't do roles. Okay. So these are the pre-owned roles what they have already given already there. So if you wanted to create a role, so see, I told you, right? Create the when we create a role is what is role we are using it for services, right? So for which service you need a role. Okay, I'll select EC2. Okay, because that's what we have already worked on and that's commonly used. You can see common use case EC2 and Lambda, and there are other services also. And I'll give permissions EC2 selected, and what I will give, I'll give permission S3 S3 full access. You can see S3 full access. I'll give S3 full access next and give name that what is the name I'll give EC2 S3 full access. Okay, I'm creating this role. So even role is very simple. You see how I've created a role. Very easy, right? Create a role, just select the service and select the policy and enter. That's it. But I also told you what is role. Role is set of policies, right?
Yes.
So you can select it, and if you want to add policies, you can add policies too. You can add as many as policies there. No, there is a limit too. We'll go through the limits later, but mostly you can add all the like most of the policies, set of policies here in this role. So we have created a role called EC2 full access, and let me show you where you can use it. When you create an EC2 instance, how do you create, right? Either you create launch instance here, or go to the instance running and launch instance here. When you launch an instance, I'm quickly going through the first one. I've selected the AMI, and then I'm selecting the instance type, and I'm next selecting number of instances, purchasing option, subnet. See now, because you know the concepts, I'm going through this right now. If you can see, you can select availability zones here. In North Virginia 1, how many availability zones are there? We have already seen 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have already seen this, right? Do you want me to open the map again?
No,
No,
we
Srikanth.
remember it.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
You remember that, right? If you select Ohio, you will get 3 of them, I think so. North Virginia, how many are there? 6 availability zones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So these are the 6 availability zones. This is where you select availability zones. Okay. And next, where do we do IAM? You can see IAM role here. So this is where we attach that role. Just now, which role did we create? EC2 S3 full access, right? This is what we have created just now, right? I put that there, and next review launch and launch. And I'll create a new key pair. I'll say test load, right? Launch instances. Okay, view instance. So now if you can see, this is the one. I didn't give the tag, so that's why you didn't get it, but I can just do test. Okay. Okay, so it's creating. So this is how you attach a role when you create an instance. But if you want to attach a role for a running instance, which you didn't do it before, how can you do it? So select an instance like this, which is running, right? And if you can see here, if you scroll down, IAM role, there is nothing, right? And how do you attach it? Go to actions, okay? Security, IAM goes under security, okay? Modify IAM role, select S3 full access, save. This is how you attach. Very straightforward, very simple, right? See here, it didn't get it. That means the API call didn't update it yet. See here, it said it's already there. So we need to refresh it. So that's where CLI is faster, where I told CLI is faster. The API calls are not automatic in GUI. You need to refresh to get it. You can see it, right? We have attached it.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is how you attach the IAM role. Now I will open and show you how the communication is done internally. But before that, what I wanted to tell you guys is the difference between the different OS, because now we'll be going into Linux, and right now you have Windows, right? If I have to say, This is like little bit advanced, but don't worry. This is like it's a straightforward stuff. I'll make it simple for you guys. So, how many types of OSs are there? Can you guys help me out?
Windows,
Okay.
Mac OS,
Okay.
Linux.
Linux,
Linux.
Unix, Red Hat, SUSE.
Red Hat is again Linux. Okay,
Yeah,
that's the flip. Even Mac is also Linux. Okay, and
Android.
Android is also built on Linux.
There is only two main operating system, Windows and Linux.
Exactly.
Unix. No other
Yeah,
than that. Everything is under Unix and Linux.
exactly. So everything, whatever Android 1, whatever new things are there, it is built on Linux. Okay, or Unix actually. So there is a slight difference between Unix and Linux, but it for a non-technical person, you can take both as the same thing. Okay, don't worry, don't stress it out with Unix and Linux. Most people will call it as Linux, which is enterprise versions. Unix is like more of a core stuff. So for a non-technical, or like the guys who don't need to work on OS, you can you can think both of them as a single stuff. But if you go in depth, there is a difference between Linux and Unix. But see, mostly, as a layman or like as an outsider, you can just think that types of OS to Windows and Unix. Do you know who does the Windows? You know who owns Windows?
Bill Gates.
Microsoft.
Bill Gates, MS, Microsoft. Okay, and this is not free. Windows is not free, guys. Even the laptop, in laptop you're getting Windows, right? Those are registered and those are paid, and the OS is very expensive. Okay, it's not open source. It's not free. It is paid. It is paid. Either it is paid by your the laptop company, or you need to purchase it. That's how it works. Or also people download the OS and install it, and it says like Windows. There is a small watermark on the left, right? Windows expired, something like that. Mostly in India we use it. So so that's the thing. Windows is an enterprise version. Enterprise version means which is not free. Okay, coming to Unix. Linux. Do you know who owns Linux?
Red Hat.
Huh?
Red Hat.
No, it's
Open
people.
source.
Open source,
Yeah.
free. And the guy named Linux has developed this OS, and he left it free for everyone. And because it is free, people are using this Linux and adding their flavor on it and making it enterprise version, which is Red Hat. Okay, RHEL. RHEL is nothing but Red Hat Enterprise Linux. That means again, this is not free. This is their version. They're charging for it because they have created a new one. So not only in Red Hat, in Linux, there are so many flavors. So many flavors. Kali Linux, they use this is for hacking, and there is Ubuntu. Any other softwares, any other Linux OS, there are so many, actually, so many of them. Ubuntu and most use. There are many other things too. And yeah.
Fedora.
Hmm?
Fedora.
Yeah, Fedora. Fedora Linux also people use. And
CentOS.
CentOS, yes, exactly. This is where RHEL and CentOS are the major ones actually. Okay, and Ubuntu next to it. Ali is for hacking. They use it for hacking tools. Linux. But these are the things. So now you understand. Linux is open source, right? Linux is open source. So anyone, either even Deepika, me, anyone can take this open source Linux and add your flavor, and you can release it in the market. That's the reason there are thousands of Linux flavors. So, Amazon is a very big company. It has all the services. Why not it create its own OS? They can do it, right? Because it's free. Yes or no? If Red Hat was able to do it, if CentOS was able to do it, why not AWS?
Yes.
So it has created its own Amazon Linux. It is its own version. Okay. And they have also released versions also in it. Amazon Linux 1 and Amazon Linux 2. So there are two flavors in Amazon Linux right now. So whoever uses Amazon, they can use it. The advantage of it will get AWS CLI, pre-installed on it, and other AWS services will be already there on it. So that whoever will use Linux on AWS, they'll choose Amazon, right? Because it get everything pre-installed or pre-configured. So it's easy for them. So that's the reason they have created their Amazon Linux. But 90% of the companies use RHEL. Okay. And nowadays, people who are moving into cloud, they're going into Amazon Linux, but RHEL is the major player in Linux thing.
Is
Okay.
it more secure? This is why.
Yeah, Linux is more secure, and as everyone says, like it won't get virus. Mac doesn't get virus. Why? Because it's built on Linux, so you won't have the antivirus stuff. But again, if you say like there won't be any antivirus for RHL, no, there is a Linux version of antivirus also, but it is less prone than Windows to get affected.
But it's very hard for fishers to fish, right?
Yes, exactly. So some of the hacking components won't work in the Linux. It's on Windows. But again, it can be also hacked, um, there are few other most of the hacking, it's not with phishing is like it's just a honey pot on that, but most of the hacking will be done by port brute force those stuff. So for that, no matter what OS it is, they can hack it easily. But that is for hacking. But where do we get this virus? Virus is nothing but the people who hack these instances, they send some malware or virus so that uh, those virus will either crash your system, or it will open the port so that you can enter in it. So there are many chances in AWS, sorry, not AWS, in Windows than Linux. But even in Linux, they can do it. It's not that Linux or these things are unhackable, or there won't be virus, nothing like that. Anything will, but Windows is most prone to it, right?
Yeah, previously in last October, November, December, ransomware is a very famous from Germany.
Mhm.
They're attacking to all over US,
Yeah, yeah,
ransomware. You heard of it, right?
yeah. Ransomware and other ransom. Yes.
They're asking ransom.
Mhm. So guys, are you clear on this? There are two, Windows and Linux. What is the biggest difference between both of this? Major difference. other than it's free and not free.
Once is GUI and once is
Exactly.
Command based.
Windows is what? Windows is GUI. So right now we are using Windows. This cursor, this tool, this everything is Windows, right? This is GUI because I have a cursor and I can click here. I can, if I click this icon, what this icon is a graphical interface. In the back end, it's not that icon, it's something else. All these things, this is just for, okay, a human can understand this is a folder when we put an folder icon, right? But in the back end, everything works with command line because computer can only understand in digits 0101, and that is easily decoded with command lines. When you give a command, again the computer will take it in the computer language. We have learned this when we are kids, right? When we have the computer class, computer can only understand in digital way. What is a digital way? It's a binary 0 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 0. That those are the things. And these commands are very easy to be convertible in the computer understandable language, binary language, which is 0001s. And so the first step is the graphical interface. On that, the backend is a command line, and to that the backend is binary language. So when we use uh, CLI, you are eliminating one of the step and it is quicker. So CLI and most secure also, as I told you, Windows is most prone to this stuff and Linux is not. So that's the reason most of the enterprise companies, they use Linux missions to the application deployment. Okay, you got it. Linux, this Windows is GUI, Linux is CLI, command line. Okay, right now in our laptop we are able to log into laptop directly by giving username and password, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, everyone is with me, right? uh
Yes,
Yes.
Shrikant.
the
Yes,
new guys, Priya is there in the call.
yes. Uh, um,
Yes.
I am yes.
Yeah, just wanted to check, Lena,
Yes, I'm
you and
here.
your friend, you're able
Yes.
to
Yes,
understand this, right?
yes.
If you think like it's overwhelming, or you can stop me at any point of time and ask, even though it's silly question.
Okay,
Go
thank you.
ahead and ask. Okay, at least the class will be funny and interactive.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah. uh, Priya and today, who is that, Ahmed, you're new guys, right? I don't know
yeah.
if you're following up.
This is my second class. Yeah.
Second class, yeah. Aparna, you guys are new. If it will be overwhelming, go back and check all the videos, all the 3 days videos, and you can get to the speed. Not a problem. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
So are we uploading this
Yes,
video to today's video to Shrikant?
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
It's
thank you.
recording, right? Yeah, you're recording this meeting. Yeah.
You gave your email address to him?
Yeah, I forwarded it.
Why?
Okay. So let's get back to the whiteboard. So Windows and types of OSs, right? Windows and Linux. Okay, these are the two types. What type? So again, these are the same. When we wanted to launch an instance, you need to select an AMI, and AMI is nothing but an OS. The OS is pre-built in that image. So you should either select Linux or you select Windows, right? So all of you guys have already selected Windows, and you know how to create a Windows mission and how to log into that mission, right? How do you log into this mission? Windows. Because see, again, what is cloud? Initially, I said in the layman language, what is cloud? The new guys, can anyone say that? Priya, if you have gone through the first day video.
Yes, the cloud is nothing but a server, a virtual machine, or
Using somebody's computer.
Yeah, using somebody else's computer. So, right? You've gone through that, right, Priya?
yes, yeah,
Yeah. So in the layman's language, it is nothing but you are using someone else's computer. So when you are using someone else's computer, which is not located nearby physically, we have to connect to that mission remotely, right?
yes,
You're using someone else's computer which is not nearby, it's somewhere else, so you need to connect to it. So to connect to those things you need to use some tools. So like what tool did you use to connect to Windows? Most of you guys have already created. So let's take Deepika or Shilpa, anyone can help me out with how did you connect to Windows mission, what tool did you use?
AWS console.
AWS Management Console, yes.
No, AWS. See, AWS Management Console, you have created an mission, but you are trying to log into a Windows. What tool did you use to log in? Syed, you have already logged in. We have logged in the first few minutes of this class. How did you log into this mission? What tool did you use?
The GUI?
No? Can anyone? Can anyone answer that?
Remote desktop.
Exactly, RDP. RDP is the remote desktops. Here, when we do it, we are selecting RDP, remote desktop connection. This is the tool we are using to connect to the mission, right?
Yes, 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 Srikant.
So when you are, how do we connect to Windows? The answer is
Remote
Remote
desktop.
desktop connection.
exact. Remote desktop connection is the tool. Remember it, okay? When someone wanted you to log into a Windows mission, what do? Immediately, RDP. This is the terminology you use. So, okay, so what is a port number for RDP?
3389. I think.
3389.
3389, yeah.
Exactly, 3389. 3389. See, why do I need this number? I'll let you know. We'll do that in the next thing. Most of you guys already knew it because there is a firewall. What is firewall? I told you, firewall is nothing but security group where we mention this. Okay, 3389, right? Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the same way, even for the Linux, we need to use some tool, right? We need to use. Can we do RDP for Linux? Remote desktop connection?
No.
No, right? So the same way we need to use tools for CLI. Do anyone know? I think there is someone who have worked. I think it's uh, Ahmed or like Farhan. Someone have already worked on systems admin, right?
It should go through command prompt command or PowerShell.
No.
I mean,
Linux.
if I want to connect to Linux
Yeah, to connect to the Linux. Yeah. What are the
okay.
external tools you can use? Anyone?
We use
Anyone?
Putty.
Yes. Correct. So we use, they call it putty, they call it putty, whatever it is. Okay. You can use putty or there are other tools. What do I use is I use Mob Extreme. That's a easy tool. You can also try that. MOBA. MOBA Xterm, I think. Yeah, MOBA Xterm. I don't know if it's EX or Xterm. MOBA Xterm. Xterm. But see the basic thing is SS putty. And what is the port number for it? Do you know?
I think Putty is 22.
Exactly. Port is 22. Linux, the port number is 22. So just remember this, only this, guys. Most of the companies use putty. I will also show you how to connect the missions with Putty, and I will also show you how to connect with Mobaxterm. RDP you already knew it, and you don't need to worry about it. But Mobaxterm and Putty I will let you know. Okay, but because most of them use Putty, I will show that, but it's easy to connect with Mobaxterm. And recently, just a month ago, they have also launched a new thing where you don't need all the third party tools to connect to the stuff. You can directly use this one. You can see here, Cloud Shell. You can connect to the Cloud Shell here. You'll get that shell and you can connect it from here. Or you can go to that instance. This is the Linux instance I created, right? Connect and SSH client, session manager. For that you need to open something else, but yeah, you need to enable a session manager. So again, what is session manager? In the role previously we have given access to S3, right? If we give access to session manager, this will be enabled. Okay, it's simple. And this is the SSH client, what we get it. So anyone in this class have a MacBook?
Yes, I do.
Okay. For MacBook, you don't need any third-party tools like SSH, like Putty or Mobaxterm. You can directly, open that command prompt and you can connect to it only for Mac people. They can directly download that FAM file and run this command and you can go there. Okay. But let's go for the Linux thing. So now whatever we have created, it's a Linux app server, right? So I won't go to this one. I'll go to the one which I have just created because I have this key for it. If you don't have key, you cannot log in, guys. This is the one which I created just now, right? So when you try to go to connect, and it will give you the instance IP. So this is, see, if you can see, this is the same as the thing. See, it is 4678. If you go back to the instance thing and see the IP of it. What is IP? Go back to the instance and select it. See, 4678. So basically, see, this one and this one is very similar. You can use either this, you can use either this to connect, even for Windows machine. Okay, I'm just copying it, and so this is how the Mobaxterm will be. And open a new session, and you can select all this stuff. You can, so as I told you, what is the and okay, before that I forgot to tell you, I don't know if I already told, but so okay, no. So here we are saying RDP, right? Remote desktop. That's a tool. It's a tool, and also it's a terminology what we use to connect to Windows. So when you can say I've connected to Windows, I have RDP to the Windows, you can say that. It's a terminology, and also the tool name is same thing. Okay, I have RDP to the Windows. In the same way, the terminology what we do for the Linux is, it's SSH. SSH is a terminology where you say, what do you mean by SSH? Do you know anyone know the full form of SSH?
Secure shell.
Secure shell, correct. So we are securely connecting to the Linux, we call it as SSH. So when you can use a terminology like, I have SSH to that Linux machine, I have logged into this Linux machine, or I have SSH to this Linux machine, I have RDP to this Windows machine. So that's a terminology you use basically. So SSH, the port number is 22, RDP, the port number is 3389. Okay, RDP is for Windows, SSH is for Linux. Simple, straight things. Windows, RDP 3389, Linux, SSH 2222. That's it. Nothing more than this. You need to remember.
Srikant, one more thing I would like to ask you that, like, okay, in the RDP, if we download something on the RDP, we we can see the same thing on the actual desktop Windows. Yes or no?
No.
So
That's a different mission, right? That's a different mission, complete different mission.
this is I want to let everybody know, means like this is all.
Yeah. So RDP is different, complete different mission. You are able to see it in that mission, but the actual file will be in that mission only. You won't be able to access it in your own desktop. Okay, that we will do some tasks, then you will understand better. But yeah, Linux SSH, right? So let's go back to Linux thing. So I'll use SSH and I'll paste that IP, whatever IP I have. Advanced SSH setting, I'll use private key. See guys, I'm using private key because I've downloaded the private key, and I'll go for desktop. Downloads, and this is the one which we have just downloaded it. And when I say okay, it will connect. And the default user for this is EC2 user. This is for Amazon Linux. When you log in, you will be connecting it with Linux. So you can say, hey Shrikant, how do you know that is EC2 user? Just can you, if you go back here and when you try to say connect, it's giving you, see, you can see the user, right? The user, this is the username, and at the rate, this is the connecting IP. So username is EC2-user. Remember it. Any of the Linux mission, not RHEL. RHEL will have something like root or something else, but it's EC2 instance on EC2 user, and say enter. It will automatically log in. See, the key itself is a password. So we have logged into this mission right now. So it says, see, Amazon Linux. And now I wanted to quickly show you LS. This is how we navigate here. And AWS, enter. You can see AWS is already pre-installed in it because we are using Amazon Linux too. And one thing, this is the best thing in AWS. Okay, previously when we used AWS CLI, what did we do? We have created a user and we have given access keys and secret keys, right? AWS configure. See, the access key is none, the secret key is none, the reason is none, and the format is none, right? So right now this AWS CLI doesn't have anything configured. Yes or no? Did you understand this?
Yes, Rekha.
Previously, externally, when we try to use AWS CLI, we have configured that with access keys and secret keys. But in this mission, we didn't do it, right? But still we can use it. How? Because we have attached the role. You guys remember the role we have attached? Did you guys remember the role we have already attached?
Yes.
Let me go back and show it to you.
Yes.
So the role we have attached, what did we attach? S3 full access, right? That means you don't need to configure. You don't need to configure anything on this mission. It has already inherited the permissions with the role we attached to this instance. Because I'll show you AWS S3 LS, you can actually see all the folders. Can you see this? You can see the folders, right? These are the same folders what we have in our S3. We'll go to S3. See, and I can also create a new bucket. And when you create a new bucket is nothing but a folder, right? One thing with this bucket, guys, is the name of this bucket should be global. It will be global. That means in the whole world, there will be one name only for that bucket. For every organization, you cannot create a new buckets. It is very similar to your email IDs. When you create an email ID, no one else in the world can create email ID with the same name. Is it correct?
That's right.
So in the same way, the bucket, the name of the bucket is global. It should be unique. It is not internal to your account or it is not internal to your company. So you need to be like very, very, very innovative when you start a bucket name. I'll get, I don't think SK. I've tried SK so many times, but I'll give some number. Okay, so I've created a bucket. Nothing. I don't select all this stuff. These are the permission stuff. We'll go through it when we go into S3 subject. But I've quickly created a folder. It's as easy as that. I quickly created a folder, and I'll see if I can see that in the instance. This see right now we are in that instance, right? You can do you get it? We are inside that instance. You can see it, right? So see the IP 172.31.23.70, right? So that's the same IP what we have on this thing. You can see this 172.31.23.20. The whatever we see internally, that will be private IP. Public IP is what we try to connect. There is a difference between public and private IP, guys. Private IP is what we see them internally. So internally you can see 172.31.23.70, 172.31.23.70, the same thing. So now in this mission, I'm again running the same command AWS S3LS, and now I can see the new folder. Can you see it?
Yes.
We didn't put any access key, we didn't put any secret key, but we are able to connect to it. You can all, so this is an option we can do. Why we are giving this option is, if you don't want to attach a role, and if you want to create a user and to do that stuff, you can also do that thing. Understood? At that point of time, you don't need role.
And how about the commands? Means like in AWS 1 and 2, both are same or different?
Yeah, AWS commands are same.
Same.
See, AWS S3LS is the same thing which I've given here also.
Even in 1 and 2, both are same.
Yeah, everywhere. See, those are same things. Commands doesn't change. And now for you, for a quick test, I'll just try to remove this. So right now I told you that, hey, this is a magic, just I have attached it and you are able to access it. You might not, you might say like, yeah, you have done something in the back and you do. Just for you to confirm, I'll just show you. I will just remove this IAM role and see whether only this is doing the magic or is there anything else in the back end. Okay, let me quickly select. Okay, action. What did I say? IAM will go under what? Security, right? And then modify, and this is the one we have right now. I'll select and I'll say no IAM role. That means I have removed the IAM role, and I save it and say, see, this is what I was telling previously. When you delete or make changes, it will ask you for confirmation. So right now it is asking to confirm the detachment. What should I do? I need to do detach. Is it detach or confirm the detachment, and should I enter? These are the new things. Enter.
Srikant,
What is it?
can you type detach only?
Maybe capitals.
D. Yeah. What
Yeah.
is that? Okay, now try.
Yeah. Okay. So it got removed, and it will be removed instantly. And now let me run the same command. See, unable to locate your credentials, you can configure the credentials by running AWS configure. So now it is saying there is no IAM role. You can configure access keys and secret keys here. But if you reattach it back, and if I run the same command again, you can get the access. So right now we have given the permissions again, and we are able to do it. Got it, right? So this is how you access data in S3. And these are some interview questions also. You will in your interview, not in the examination. Even in examination you might get, but in interview you'll get like how many ways you can access S3 data in S3. You can say either you can attach a role to an EC2 instance and access it, or you can access by GUI, or you can access with third-party softwares like S3 bucket. There is some tool called S3. It's an open source one. S3 browser is a one Windows tool. That's a third party tool. There again you need to give access keys and secret keys, and you can do it. So these are the couple of ways you can access the S3. So this is the Windows mission. This is how you log in. Sorry, not the Windows, the Linux mission. And the Windows mission, you know how to do it, right? RDP. Any questions on this?
I think we need to practice a little bit to understand. So
Yes, Shrikant, that's too much. Like we
too much.
need to practice. Yeah.
Yeah,
We need
see,
to see
in
again.
today's class, we did nothing, right? We have just gone through concepts, and practically we have done only creating the user, programmatic access user, and we have created already EC2 instance is created. We have attached the role. That's it. We have done nothing actually. We have done nothing. We went through a lot of things just for the explanation. But for you to understand and to practice, there is nothing in here. The instance is already created. I showed you how to create a role and attach it to it and access it. That's it.
no, that part we understood. We just want to make sure that the command that we may or may not use, at least we should get familiar with those.
Yeah.
But actually that's what we need to practice.
Yeah, that's correct. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is when you try to practice, there is nothing much to practice. All this thing you can do it in just less than 10 minutes. I think so. But yeah, you might face challenges. Let me know when you face it, and we have the group, right? We can discuss in that. But now you know how to log into Windows mission, how to log into Linux mission, guys. And one more thing, the MOBA Extreme, you can just go online. MOBA Extreme download. It's a free download. Okay, download it. That's it. Download and install. It's easy. Or if you want to go to Putty, select the Putty, download Putty, and download Putty here. And when you download the one which is this one. Here, this one.
Hey, Srikant, Mobo is a new one?
What is it?
Mobo, the Mobo.
Yeah, the mobile extreme is new one.
Never.
But yeah, but it is like very much user friendly. I liked it personally.
In compared to Putty?
Yeah, because one thing I wanted to say, that's the reason I'm getting the putty also. See, this is the one. Don't try to get it from here. You need to install and all that stuff. If it is this one, this is like a direct one. You can, if you just open it, it will directly open. App can't run. What is it? Why?
I guess port numbers are remain same, right?
Yeah, port number is 22 only, right? Same thing. I'm getting this stuff. Maybe 32. Hmm. Okay. So previously I told you that just try that first and then do this one, because for this you need to install all this stuff. I don't like installing these things. If you select that, it will be directly opening the software, the putty. So I will install the putty now. I try to open putty. So this is the basic interface of the putty. Previously, how you do it, you need to put the same IP here, and the problem here with putty is it still running or is it gone? It's terminated. But Linux app server, I don't know if I have a thing. Let me quickly create an instance. Select instance type, review and launch. Launch. Test. Knowledge. Knowledge. This is a public IP, and put here. Okay, you need to give your host name here, and then SSH port is 2020. It's automatic. You don't need to do anything. Just select SSH. And when you need to give your key, previously we have given key, right? We need to give, see select SS. So here there is an option called SSH here. Select that SSH and then select auth. That means you're giving an authorization, and you need to browse the keys here. But here the problem here is putty will only accept PPKs, PPK file, that is private key file. Okay, PPK file. But when we download the key from AWS, we get it PEM. The version of it is PEM. Okay, you can, if you want more information on it, try PEM versus PPK. Okay, so when we download key from AWS, we get PEM, which is private enhanced mail key. And but when we wanted to log into putty, it is putty private key. So we need to convert the PEM key into PPK key before you can use it. So that's where MobiX term is. MobiX term, you can use PEM key also. So you saw, right? We have directly used the key. Directly, I just selected this and SSH and I give the IP here. I'll go advanced SSH, use private key and select, and I can select test.pem. I'm selecting here pem key. Select, open and open, and here EC2-user, you can able to log into this mission very easily, right? But when I use putty, if I select the same key, it doesn't work. Actually, see, you won't able, basically it is only looking for .ppk. Understood? Even though if you go for all files.
It's a new thing, man.
What is it?
It's very good to learn that and more.
Oh, I think the new version is able to enable. Let me see. EC2 user. See, this is what we get issue. But now for that, what we need to do is ppk gen. When you install it, you get not ppk, putty putty gen. So this is where you generate the ppk keys. So for that, you can generate. Sorry, don't generate it. And stop. This is good to know, but don't take a lot of stress. Okay, so select the PEM key what we have here. You need to again select all files and select that PEM key here in putty gen. See here, so see, successfully imported the foreign key. Here it is putty key generator. So that's what we need to use. So now save. So you can when it got when it loaded the key, you need to save it as private. Are you sure you want to save this key without a paraphrase protect? Yes. And then what you need to do is I've saved it. Now again I'm opening the putty, right? I'm opening the putty. See, this is putty. Before thing is putty keygen, where you're converting the key. I'm giving the IP and I'm going to SSH. I'm going to auth. Auth is where you authorize. Authorization means when you need to give the key or you need to give the password, something like that. So now you can see I'm able to see some key, right? And if I select all, you can directly select it. For you to understand, I'm showing this one. And I select this one here. It is pem test.ppk. Here that this is test.pem. It's not showing right way here. Let me show it here. So if you can see this one, it's a putty private key, right? And this is PEM file. This is PEM file. This is PPK file. So we are selecting the same PPK file here. Open, and now open. See, you are able to see login as, and when you do EC2-user, you are logged in. See, you're logged into the same mission. You're logged into the same mission, same user. Here I do ls, there's nothing in it. Let me touch sk, and I created a file called sk here, and let me see it has created here. See, sk, and I'll remove it. rmsk, that means I've deleted it. These are the commands to create and delete a file. Same thing. Now see, before when I did ls, I can see here, but I've deleted it here, right? So let me see ls. So it's not there. So same mission. So this is how you connect it with putty. This is how you connect to the MOBA XTEM. So these are the two things. For you as a newbie, I would suggest MOBA XTEM because you don't need to convert the key, and all this is like, extra work and extra stuff for you to learn. Better go with this, try to log in. It's easy for you. but in most of the companies you will be using putty, not this one. And in most of the companies, when you use it, you don't use it with keys, so don't worry about it. So if you are not the administrator team and you are from application team, the admin team will create a local users for you, and you can log in with your employee ID, something like that. But if you are the admin team, to create the users, you need to log into it with the key itself. So initially, key is the only way to log in. There is no other way. If you are the first person who are logging into this mission, when you create a mission, depends on which team you will be placed in. If you are a secondary team, you don't need to know all this stuff. If you are the initial team, you need to know all this stuff because you will be logging into this and you will configure or set up these missions configurations. And seeing this black screen and these commands, don't get overwhelmed and don't take stress. These are very, very simple things. There are only like most people in Linux who work in Linux, there are like 20 commands, I think so. They use only those stuff, only less than 20. And once you practice it, anyone can do it, anyone can use it. I'll give you basic commands and I'll ask you to create, navigate, and all this stuff, so it would be also easy for you. So this is the Linux thing, but don't worry, it's very, very simple. Okay, it's other than cloud class, but it's good for you that because if you go into the workplace, the 90% you'll be working on Linux machines only. So you might not go in and do a lot of work in it, but at least you need to know how to log into it so that because most of you will won't be going in as a fresher to a company. You will be going in as an experienced person, and they might expect at least you know how to log into Putty.
So Srikant, Mobo is working at the same way like Putty.
Yeah, everything is same. Everything is same. Here you have more tabs also. Here you don't see tabs. But the thing is, you can just go directly do the PAM. Even in see, most of the companies will allow this stuff, but most of the companies, you know, right? The companies doesn't allow to install third-party applications or third-party things.
Because of
So
the
at that point of time, you will be restricted to use only Putty. So
security.
that's the reason I'm showing you this. Otherwise, I would have ignored this. But because companies use Putty, I've showed you this. Okay. And to convert the PEM key, what do? Putty Gen. When you install Putty Gen will automatically come in. So you don't need to install this separately. When you install Putty, it will install both the components
Yeah,
automatically.
but Mobo Extreme is a little time saver though, right?
Yeah, time saver automatically. I mean, see, you can do more tabs here. You can do more sessions, and also very good thing here is, see, when you go to the Putty thing, right? You are only seeing the Linux version, right? Here you can also see the GUI version also parallelly. Okay, and the best part here is you can drag some files here from your local machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it also helps you with FTP. Okay, example, so see, there is a receipt here. I'm just dragging it and copying it here. See, it has copied. So we basically what we did just now, we have copied that file into this mission. Previously, you asked the question, right? Whatever we download in this mission, will you see it in local? You won't see it. Now I have copied a local thing into this server, which is a different remote server. And for you to show that, I'll do less. Can you see receipt.txt? Just now we have copied it.
Yes, yes. I got it.
Yeah.
So
So
company,
mobile stem is like a time saver. It's like a very, very good tool. You can use it for FTP, SSH. You can do a lot of things in this.
Even for the FTP, is Mobile Extreme is good.
Yeah, just now we did, right? This is the FTP what we did. We have it's a FTP is what? File transfer protocol, right? We have just transferred a file from our local mission to this mission. The same way we can also do in either way. We can create a like example visk.txt and I'll do hi. This is a test file and colon WQ exclamatory is what you use for save and cat sk tab. See, you can see hi, this is test file, and when I draw it ls, you can see sk text file. You don't see it here, but for you to see it here, you need to refresh. When you refresh it, you can see sk.txt. I'm just holding it, dragging it to my desktop, and yes, boom. See, sk is there here. I've opened it. This is a test file. We have created this file just now in the server, and we have copied that server out, the file outside. And let me delete rm sk text rm.
Shrikant, for security purposes, a log created.
What is it?
For security purposes, will there be a log created for this one though?
Lock means username and password.
No, log, log.
Logs, yeah, logs will be there, obviously. There will be internal logs and there will be external logs in the AWS also.
Okay, internal profile.
What is it? Your voice is not clear. I didn't understand your question.
It wasn't me actually.
Yeah. What is it? What is the question?
No, it wasn't me. Somebody else spoke actually.
Okay. Okay, so that is the thing. And to move, and we will discuss more about the other. See, remember the port numbers and all the stuff. We'll be deploying an application next class. So
Security issues on like Mobile Extreme.
see, security. See, SSH. What is SSH? What is the
Self-security with the firewall, but I'm asking you, so why the organization doesn't allow us to use that user-friendly Move Extreme?
See, it depends on the company. Company will scan some of the tools and they restrict only them to use. It's in a company laptop. You cannot install whatever software you like. Maybe you can request for this. You can say that, hey, IT team, I need this. So they'll see and they'll say, okay, we have a similar tool SSH, you can use it, or we will check that and we will do it. But it's see at the end of the day, everything is software, and they can also send malware with that. So you will say, see, I can create a similar tool and I can put some malware in it and put it in the Google. You might not see when I do Mobile Extreme. You can download the same thing when I do Mobile Extreme, right? See, let me check for Mobile Extreme. Mobile Extreme. Yeah, if I see the mobile extem, not only in the website, see, this is mobatech.net. I don't know what is it. This is like pandit.ppk.edu. I don't know what this is. And see, this is g2.com. What is this? So if you wanted to download it from any other tool, other things, so so organization cannot control where you download it from. Okay, see, they cannot control where you download it from. If I download it from this website, this is some softonic website. It might also have virus, and that can breach data in the organization. So that's the reason they doesn't allow anything. They scan it, they scan some versions, and they put those things in their own intranet, and you can able to download and install it. But you need to request for that. So that's completely different. But when you say there are security issues with Mobile Extreme, no. Everything is SSH. SSH is secure shell. which is secure.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is the thing. And one thing is, quickly I'll close this with this one. Right now, the whatever mission I have created, whatever missions you have created, anyone in the world can access it. Okay. And rather than me showing it, I will let any one of you help me out with this. Can anyone share your screen and I'll quickly show you the security issues. Anyone who have missions started, I think maybe Syed, it would be better for you to.
Okay, one second.
Or anyone else have the mission ready running?
I'm sharing my I'm sharing
Mhm. Yeah, you don't have running instances?
No, I stopped it.
You stopped at remove that filter, running filter. Yeah, you stopped it. Can you quickly start it?
Yeah.
Select it and then start it. And before going, yeah, let it start and go to the security meanwhile. Okay. So when you create this, no, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there.
Okay.
Go back to the EC2 tab. Just, yeah, select the same service. Select the service. Yeah. So, yeah, open instances. If you wanted to go to security, select the site test. If you want to go to security, select it and see the second tab, which is security. Yeah. And scroll down. So either you can the blue one, which is the thing, you can either click that security group or on your, yeah, go back to the EC2 instance, go back to the EC2, or if you wanted to go on your left panel, on your left panel,
left panel here,
scroll down, see, you can see security groups there, right? You can go in this way. Yeah, select it. Yeah, so these are the things. But yeah, select the first one, which is launch wizard. I think this is the one you have attached it to the instance. So select the first one. Yeah. Scroll the below tray up. Okay. Scroll down. Okay. Scroll little up. Go to inbound rules. Okay. So now here you can see that, right? Inbound rules. So inbound and outbound. Okay. So this is basically, previously I told you security group is nothing but a firewall. Firewall means, you have your home and you have walls, right, built around it to secure your home, right? And you will have a gate or door. Okay. And you, for the door, you will have lock. Okay. So this port number and source are nothing but those lock stuff. Example, let's take instance as a home. Okay. For you to secure the home, what you're saying is the port number is 3389. Okay. And the source is, what you're doing is you have opened the door and you are saying anyone can come into my home. That is 0000.
So in other words, it's not secured.
It's not exactly, it's not secure. It is open to internet. Anyone can log into this. If they try to hack your mission, again, you can say, okay, my key is not there with them, right? I don't think they can come in, but there are some hacking tools which can brute force this thing. Okay, so it's not secure. Then select the outbound tab, outbound rules. Outbound rule can be 000 and port number can be any port number. That is because anyone can grow out of your house. That is fine, right? Anyone who already entered your home, they can go always. They can go out anytime at any time. So you don't restrict whom you want to go out of your home. It's not a jail, right? So in the same way, outbound 00 is fine because anything going out of your thing is might not like it's going out, it's not coming in. Anything who is coming in is threat for the company. Example, let's take an organization. Only employees can come into it. But if someone is going out, they won't check an ID to check their ID. Only if they're going in, then only they check their ID, right?
Right.
So in the same way. So now go back to your, so now you can say like now I gave 000, what should I do? It's not secure. Go back, go back to your inbound rules, scroll up, inbound rules. Yeah, edit inbound rule, and when you give here 00, okay. Now before we want to quickly test it, do RDP, the Syed Prem, the RDP test. No, not that, not that.
Yeah.
Yes, no, not this one. Try to log into your mission, RDP to your mission.
Okay.
There's a file already downloaded, right? Try that. Okay, one more thing is in on demand, when you stop and start the mission, your IP might change. So it might not connect to that thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, open it in new tab, that IP might change.
So I need to go back.
Yeah, wait. Don't go from this thing. Let me select the service.
Select the service.
On top, services. Yeah, EC2, don't click the EC2. Just right click and open it in new tab. Yeah.
Open a new window.
New tab. Yeah, now again select the services now so that this tab will go up. Yep. Okay, now go back to, yeah, go there. Open the instance, select the instances, running instances, and select that instance and select the IP. Yeah, copy that new IP and now do the RDP. Guys, concentrate on this one just for 5 minutes. We'll go. Don't worry. Yeah, administrator. Just observe what we are doing here.
And
Password is the same thing. You have copied it in some text file, right? So here, now what Syed did is he opened for everyone, that is 000, the firewall, and we are trying to log into this mission. Open it. And yes, click yes. And you are able to open, right? And can you copy the same IP in the chat box? IP and password.
hold on.
You're able to log in. Copy the password first. Yeah, you have the password. You copy it in the chat box.
Give me 1 second. Let me first give him the IP address.
Yeah. So Deepak, you're there on the call, right? Deepak.
Srikanth, just quick question. Is there any classes on Saturday, Sundays?
Yeah, it's just 2 weeks, right? I don't want to lose 2 days. Okay, so
what time?
You will discuss after this. Let us complete it. We don't want to.
I gave it on the chat, Shrikant.
Yeah, or anyone else who can RDP to that mission? Can anyone try to RDP it? Anyone? Guys, there are 15 people and I don't get any answer from all of you guys. You guys are putting it in mute and doing your work.
No, I'm here only and I can try also.
Yeah, can you try? Shilpa, is Deepak there on the call?
Shrikant, he just left to restroom.
Okay.
Hey Shrikant, Amit here.
Yeah, Amit. Were you able to log in RDP and try to log into it?
Yeah, let me share my screen.
No, you don't need to share. You can just try to log into it.
Sounds good.
Anyone else in the class can also try that, please.
Hey Shrikant, sorry to interrupt. Is this the information you put in the chat?
Yeah, I think.
The IP address and the password.
Okay, sounds good. Let me try.
Sure.
నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం కాకుండా నాకేం తెలుసు నాకు ఎలా వస్తుందో చెప్పా
Did not work. Credentials. Seems like it's saying the credentials which we entered, it did not work. We need to enter a new credentials. So is this the same thing others are getting?
See, this is IP address.
IP address is correct and
IP is good, but the credential, probably the password.
Password is also correct.
Srikant, I'm able to connect it. I gave administrator and username.
Yeah.
And gave the password also that PGF.
Yeah, correct. So anyway, then Amit, what is the issue? Like, what's happening with you? Did you try to copy the IP there and user is administrator and password is this? Did you try with a different username?
No, I think it's. No, I tried the IP address and I gave the password, but I think it's asking my username as well.
No, not your username. You see, in the beginning of the class itself, I told you that you need to try different user and try administrator. So previously you didn't spin up any instance and didn't log in before?
I mean, I did for other work, not for this.
No. Not you. Payal didn't practice this?
The remote RDP, probably not. I think she's trying.
We did that. I created that EC2 instance.
But she never connected.
Yeah, you need to connect, right? When you okay. Just share your screen. I'll let you know how to connect. See,
Sure.
guys, if you have questions and you are not able to do something, let me know so that we can help you. So this now we are in fourth class. The task to create and login is the first class task.
Do you see my screen?
Yeah, username. What is the username you're giving?
Uh, I give me 1 second. I think it was asking some password. Should be admin or what? I don't know.
Administrator.
Sure.
Yep. Now password.
Boom. Sorry, I think that was the
Yeah,
reason.
right. You're able to connect, right? Okay. Now let's switch back to Syed quickly.
Okay.
Syed.
Let's stop sharing.
Sharing my desktop.
So now by this activity, what did we learn? That IP, if someone have username or if even though someone hacker is there, they were able to access that mission. Everyone. Rajiv was able to, Amit was able to, right? Now go to the security group. Security groups. Okay. And now, yeah, non, you have the other tab open, right? Go to the tab, the security tab, not that tab, the first tab, second tab.
Hold
So
on.
already opened this. Okay. So now the source. Okay. Close that source. No. Hit that cross button for 00 and just give 20.
Right here.
Yeah, give um, 72 dot
Did you
87.
right?
Uh-huh.
72 dot
87 dot 122 dot 58 slash 32. When you use slash 32, that means that single IP only. Okay. If you use some 64 or 16, there are some other components too. So this is completely networking. Then the range will be increased. Okay. Now 32 is like exact IP. Okay. So now select that. Yeah. Select it and then save rules. And everyone, Amit, Rajiv, close your RDP session and try to connect to that session again. And Syed, you also try to open the RDP again.
Alright.
Yeah. Rajiv, were you able to do it?
No, Srikant.
Amit?
Can't connect to the remote computer for one of these reasons.
Correct. Amit?
Sorry, we were on mute. Yes, he's trying.
It says connecting, but yeah, it can't connect.
Same error, right? Okay. Now close
Yeah.
it. Close it, Syed. Close this one. Why we are not getting? Because we have only given one source IP, which is my IP, and only I will be able to log into it. And now, for you to keep this secure, what you can do is just put your own IP. Like, okay, now Syed, go to the new tab. Go
New.
to the new tab.
Shall I open a new
No,
tab?
new tab on the browser, and select my IP address, my public IP. Yeah, second one, my public IP address. Yeah, select the first one. and see that is your computer IP. Copy that and yeah, and go to the instance back. The security of the first one. No.
Go to this one.
Yeah. Why? See, RDP, what do? You try to connect to that mission. Why do you try to connect to your own mission? You're already in your mission, right?
Right.
Yeah. Go to the security, the first tab, and edit inbound rules. And yeah, close it and put that. So here, what does this mean? That means whatever remote desktop you are creating, only you will be able to access it. That means only your laptop or your computer will able to connect to it. No one else. /32, the last one. Okay. So don't try to connect to your own laptop. You are already in your laptop. Save rules. And now try to RDP. And Rajiv and Amit, can you guys also try again?
Yep, same message.
Yeah, it says it can't connect to the remote computer.
Yeah, Rajiv.
Can't connect Srikanth.
Okay, so here now everyone understood right here. What we have done, just we have secured this thing. We have restricted to a single IP who can access that mission. So Syed has created it. So Syed have added that. Okay. So next time, so now right away, if you have already created any instance, go to the security groups and change it to your source IP. Only then you will be able to log in. I mean, not log in. Only then it will be secure.
Good.
Okay. In basically in companies, what they do is, I told you VPN, right? VPN will have range, IP range. Okay, that means all the computers in that company will have only some set of IPs. So all those IPs will have some range. So this to this. So they'll put that range. That means only employees can log in. No one else from outside can log in. So that's how they secure in companies. Right now you have kept only one IP, right? In companies they'll put IP range. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. So this is how you can secure it. Okay. So when yeah, any questions on this one? We can discuss on this longer when we try to discuss VPC subnets and security group topic. This is completely networking, but at least this is a small thing you need to understand that if you are not able to connect to a mission, either that might be a security group issue or some other issue, firewall issue or something. At that time, you need to you can fix here. So you need to know this small stuff. This is minimum thing in your network. So understood, right? So that's the reason I gave you three scenarios. One, a complete different IP where no one was able to log in. One, we have opened for internet where everyone was able to log in. And the third one is your own IP. Only you were able to log in. No one else were able to not log in with the same. Even though they have credentials, it won't get connected because you have restricted the firewall. Okay. And any questions?
No.
Yeah. Half of the squad already left. Okay. Thank you guys. If you have any questions, just let me know.
No, thank you very much for giving your precious time to us, Srikanth. You're wonderful.
Yeah, Srikanth.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
problem. Thank
the you know it's it's new thing, and it will take some time for us to see. I mean,